And it's time to take a look at the papers this morning, the headlines making the rounds and jostling for your attention. And I have with me to make sense of all the headlines two journalists in the studio. I have Ife Onyegbule here, broadcast journalist, is here with me. Ife, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good
Great.
to see you.
Welcome. And I have Dario Dufo-Wokon with me here too. Dario, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good to see you.
It's our pleasure.
Great. Now let's begin with the Blueprint newspaper. Blueprint newspaper says, Senate raises the alarm as Customs budgets 2 billion naira welfare packages for retiring officers. Senate raises the alarm as Customs budgets 2 billion naira welfare packages for retiring officers, allocates 300 million naira as fueling costs for grounded aircraft. Agency's 257 billion naira 2021 budget passed conditionally, and the NCS impounds 42 drums of explosives, seizes 3.1 billion naira contraband in Lagos. Wow. All right, all that on the front page of the Blueprint. Daily Independent is next and is focusing on insecurity. Federal government town hall meeting adopts state police. Wants autonomy granted local governments. Recommendations to be presented to the NEC today. Okay, we'll certainly be talking about this. The issue of state police has been a long discussion over the years. Daily Sun is next. Daily Sun says, bandits go wild. Attack police, army formations, varsity, kill 2 policemen, 31 others, caught away military vehicle, set another ablaze, kill Amotekun operative, kidnap construction workers in Oyo, Ondo, soldier undergraduate, others abducted, troops kill 5 gunmen in Abia. Bandits go wild. That's a Daily Sun. Daily Times is next, and it says gunmen abduct students in varsity attack, kill a policeman, burn station. Gunmen attack, abduct students in varsity attack, kill a policeman, burn station. Okay, that's Daily Times. Now, Daily Trust is the next. Daily Trust says 45 killed, dozens missing in 6 Zamfara communities. Soldier missing as bandits attack military camp in Niger. And suspected IPOB gunmen kill 2 policemen in Enugu. Why it's difficult to tame banditry. Federal government seem to be, giving reasons there. Okay, we can get all the details. It's Daily Trust. Now let's go to the Guardian newspaper. Guardian newspaper says Senate approves Buhari's fresh loan of $1.5 billion, 993 million euros amid rising debts. Senate approves Buhari's fresh loan request of $1.5 billion, 995 million euros. No compelling reasons to take more loans. There's a quotation here. Focus on creating enabling environment, economists urge government. Okay, that's the Guardian newspaper. New Telegraph. Some pensioners get 2,000 naira monthly. Federal government and Labour saying this as senior citizens embark on nationwide protest on Friday. Right. Some pensioners get 2,000 naira monthly. Federal government and Labour is saying this. Okay, it's really troubling. New Telegraph. All right, News Direct. News Direct is next. It says priority projects funding. Senate approves $2.6 billion loan for COVID-19 food security. Senate approves $2.6 billion loan for COVID-19 food security. Right. The Punch newspaper is next, and IPOB Masab Asylum offer to protect those who need it. UK replies federal government. Updates to the Biafran separatist note expected shortly, says UK High Commission. And Alpha confirms victimization of IPOB Masab. Southeast women professionals and youths are saying this. All right, that's the Punch newspaper. The Nation newspaper is next. Nation says killings, abduction in Oyo, Ondo, Kaduna, Enugu, Delta. Abductors of Kaduna Varsity students demand 800 million naira. Amotekun operative shot dead. 3 policemen killed in another attack on station. 3 construction workers taken away from site. Really troubling times, I must say. That's the Nation newspaper. Tribune. Opposition to National Conference. Afenifere Haneze Pandev, the YCE carpet presidency. All right. These are all on the front page of the Tribune. Vanguard is next. Bandits raid varsity, kidnap 23 students, attack army base. Greenfield University, Kaduna attacked, staff killed, 800 million naira ransom demanded. Invade military camp in Niger, burn military vehicle, move away with 1 soldier, 1 civilian missing, scores of bandits killed. It's just a lot of riders there on that story. That's the Vanguard newspaper. Leadership. Federal government, states accumulate 20.3 trillion naira debt in 6 years. A Senate okays fresh 1.2 trillion naira borrowings. That's the Leadership newspaper. And then the National Economy is the last one we're looking at now. Daily fuel subsidy hits 4.64 billion naira with record 216 naira landing cost. Right? That's the National Economy. Okay. Gentlemen, let's look at the story on the front page of the Daily Independent. Daily Independent is talking about insecurity, and it says a federal government town hall meeting adopts state police. And that report will be presented to the NEC today. Dari, I wonder what you make of this. We've been talking about the issue of state police. In fact, everyone has been talking about the issue of state police for several years now.
Oh, well.
Maybe this is the time.
I won't say this is the time.
Okay.
I will not jump on the bandwagon that fast.
Right.
What we have here is a proposal again, which is an outcome of a town hall meeting. This time, put together by the federal government itself. I think it's more or less testing the waters. Okay, let's find out what the people feel or say about this debate. To say we need state police is to say the obvious. And if people are at a town hall meeting organized by the federal government are now able to say, look, this is what we want, I think we are moving closer home. It still remains the proposal as it is, and that it will be presented to the NEC today. It's also a very good development. At that level, we now have federal government itself discussing state police. It's another kettle of fish to say they would approve it or not, but that it is now on the table to be discussed at the meetings of governors, ministers, and other functionaries is a good leap in the right direction. Okay. And I want to believe that state police is the obvious, and we cannot ignore the obvious for much longer.
All right. Now, Ife, you have traveled, across many states in Nigeria, especially of late, where you've, because of some of the projects that you are handling. Now, when it comes to the issue of state police, talk to me basically, like in Imo State, for instance, where you have spent a few days and weeks in the recent time. How much more do we need the state police really, and what could change from what you see on ground? So much. We need it so much, like the fish takes to water. When you take the fish out of the water, it's either it's going to your pot or it's going right there on the grill, but it needs that water to survive. And I'm glad, as Dari said, is the FG now sitting down in a town hall and talking about this. And as we say in the local parlance, jungle just dey mature. Yeah, jungle don't mature. As it is, Well, he just asked me a question: how much do we need? We need it so much. I've said it time and again. There's no way you bring a man or take a man from Bise and take him all the way to somewhere in Maiduguri and say he's the police. He's going to keep
he's going to watch over the people there. How does he know what the terrain is? You need the people, because I'm sure many understand what it was when we were growing up. Everybody knew everybody. And that's how it is in the villages. So you get to some villages or the hinterland now, you don't have the street signs like we have, but people know everywhere. You know who lives wherever. You're going to this family house, you're going to this family house, and people know themselves. Now, let me bring the issue of Bakassi to the fore, when Bakassi was Bakassi. If you find out that there's someone in your family who's like the black sheep, you just have to bring that person out. That's how it was at that time, until it was bastardized. So I'm standing on the side of the FG. They decide now that the issue of state police should come to the table. I think they should move it beyond the table, get to work, hit the ground running. The man who has just taken over as the IGP, we hear he's acting. Hopefully they're going to confirm him and he's the full IGP. He needs to wake up and understand that this has to happen. Something needs to be done about it, because you were going through the papers. I would say 80 or 90% of what the headlines talked about this morning is the issue of insecurity. Insecurity. This one kidnapped, that one kidnapped. And we're wondering, we're still calling them bandits. I think something truly needs to be done. And this issue of state police needs to be given life. Let them breathe life into it so that we can sleep with our two eyes closed.
Now, Dari, the issue of kidnappings, the IGP, when he came on board, he made promises, and he said things were going to change. The approach against internal security, kidnapping, banditry, and all of that. He was going to, although one would say it's quite still early for us to see some of the changes that we desire or we require or we want to see, or expectations. But what do you see so far when it comes to that decisiveness or things changing in that direction?
Yeah, when we talk about saving lives, protecting properties, and restoring peace, it's never too early to expect changes. Because a second is enough for lives to be lost. And by the time we look at the damage that could be done in a day, you will understand that if Nigerians are eager, if Nigerians are impatient, it's as a result of what they've gone through. I expect the IGP to say all that he said. I'm not a pessimist. I'm only saying I've heard it so many times that it has become like the ticking of the clock to me. So he said those things we expected him to say. Now we want to see those things we desire so strongly. And if you look at things changing, I've not seen any change just yet, but I still believe things will change for the better. But the idea of waiting and hoping things will happen is one of the bane of our nationhood. We wait and believe that somehow things will sort itself out. It doesn't just happen that way. Talking about kidnapping, which we have categorized as banditry. I look at our use of words like if he opened just now, and kidnapping, banditry. When somebody is kidnapped, I would say bandits on rampage.
Or unknown gunmen.
Unknown gunmen. The earlier we wake up to the reality that this kidnapping, this banditry, even cattle rustling as we have it now, are all appendages of the Boko Haram war going on in the northeast, the better for us. The war needs to be funded by the insurgents. They won't rely on foreign grants if they get it as some claim forever. They are trying to make money to prosecute that war. And in the process of making money, they are engaging in more and more criminalities by the day. And that's what we are seeing playing out. Earlier, from reports we got, it was cattle rustling. They needed to feed the soldiers. They needed to feed the women, keeping them company. They even needed to feed the hostages. So they rustle cattle, they rustle sheep, they sell some and kill some for food. That went on for years. Then there was need to get more superior firepower ammunitions and arms. They needed money for that. That led to, from reports, the illegal gold mining in Zamfara. They mined gold illegally and used the proceeds to get arms and ammunition. And then somehow, there was a clampdown. The gold mining, illegal gold mining got discovered, all eyes on it, and both the state and the federal government are making effort to stop illegal mining. There was still need for them to find other means of prosecuting this senseless war. They have made an assignment unto themselves. Yeah. So they had to kidnap, ask for ransom.
So they can raise money.
So they can raise money. There are the other issues of even negotiating foreign support. Now we have insurgents sending emissaries here and there to seek support. They need money for these things. So if we tie it to what is going on in the Northeast, we'll take it for what it is and attack it and approach it the way we should. It is not just mere criminality or banditry as we have labeled it. Okay. It is part of the war being waged on the country called Nigeria by its own citizens that are today insurgents and dissidents. So we must treat them exactly the way they should be treated.
And put them where they belong.
And put them where they belong. Once and for all.
All right. Now, when we talk about the issue of state police or state policing, there has been lots of debate in the past where we hear people talk about the issue of abuse, by governors and all of that. As it is now, do you see that concern waning now with the realities of security on ground?
No, that concern cannot wane. It's something that we have to come to terms with. It surely will happen, even now that you have the police in the hands of the federal government. When you look at, permit me to talk about this, there's so much difference when you see the police that works directly with the Lagos. There's something about Lagos. It's one state that has found a way around so many things, even though there are so many other things that still needs to be done. Look at the RRS, for instance. But when you move into other states, I've been to a lot of states, and I just look at them, I'm wondering what it is that's going on. Now, back to your question, it will happen. When you have state police as it is, there will be someone that they're answerable to. Would you leave the person you're answerable to and face someone else? That's practically impossible. What I'm thinking now is, how do we change our mindset? It's a mindset thing. Because days when we used to sleep with our doors open, how did we get to the stage? When I was growing up, I grew up in that setting where, of course, my parents had to leave home. They would lock us up in the house. But you've been told, don't do this, don't do that. Don't open the door for so and so person. Things had started to get bad at that time. So we started, building high fences and all of that. I grew up also when we used to have the very short fence. You could see the neighbor at the other side of the house. But it became so bad that the fences had to go up. And it's going up and up. These days, you wonder if people live in the prisons. Where I used to live somewhere in Ikosiketu when I worked in one of the stations, we had this house member, who lived close to where I used to stay. And he had this high wall, high fence. And I'm like, you're amongst your people. Why are you hiding like you're in prison? So there's no way you will say there is a state police and they will not be connected to the governors. The idea now is for the governors to be open-minded. Do it as it should be done. Don't take it as part of your, how do I call it now? They are not members of your staff as it is. They are there to do a job. They do the job. They get paid. I don't know how they're going to be paid, but it's something that truly needs to be worked out. We need to change our mindset. It has to be a paradigm shift as it is.
All right, Dari, she said that she doesn't know how they are going to be paid. Resources is really critical here. Now, she has made reference to Lagos. Lagos has been doing great when it comes to investment and assistance in the area of security and the police and all of that.
You have to give it to Lagos.
Exactly. And not all the states in the country have that, approach to it. Maybe because the population in Lagos, because the people in Lagos, there are so many people in Lagos, and so it leads to so many things, so government had to be proactive. Maybe in the other states, because the population is less in comparative terms, not so many things happen, so there won't be the need to deploy that much. But if we're going to have the issue of state policing now, the issue of resources, is
it has to come to the fore.
Exactly.
You see,
what concern do you have from that when things are still?
I have great.
Remember
concern.
minimum wage.
I have great concerns, and we all should.
Yeah.
In our clamor, and if we are realistic and we want it done the way it should be, we should have concerns for resources, especially payment of personnel. Because
welfare.
no doubt, it's going to add to the wage bill. But in a state like Lagos, like we all know, for years Lagos has been working. Forget the political noise, the
internal wranglings and all of that.
And the penchant for some people to paint everything black the moment they find something they don't like in there. From 1999, Lagos has been building a template that any state in Nigeria should envy. And because of the political structure in the state, there has been consistency. That's something we should take away. From everything we think is bad, there is always something good. The ability to structure the political system in the state gave birth to that ability to be consistent in the race towards growth and development. That's not the topic for today. But talking about security in Lagos, take a look at the RRS. When policemen are released to Lagos to be part of the RRS, they are retrained. I witnessed one or two of such training sessions. They are retrained. And we are seeing the result of... I was driving home very late one night around Oshodi. And pickpockets were operating. And all of us started, tapping up, getting ready, and preparing to hand over everything. And, these guys, brazenly, they were moving towards us. And we just discovered that how it happened, nobody knows. About 7, 8 of them were disarmed right in the traffic there. Wow. Somehow, by plainclothes personnel. And some of those who were disarming them, we thought they were part of these hoodlums all along. But they were moving with them. But suddenly, they disarmed them, and the RRS men, clothes RRS, came out from somewhere. The operation was so seamless, no shooting, no noise, and gun-toting young men were disarmed. Pare arrested, and we saw them, and some of us could even come down from our car and say, so you know be thief. So that's the result of investing into security. Then you hear of the Security Trust Fund in Lagos. You hear of other things, private donors over the years in Lagos, corporate donors. How then do we expect other states to fit into this? That's what you are wondering, and that's my concern. Because states that are yet to pay 18,000 when we are talking of 30,000, now we want to add. All they need to do is let us identify states that are viable. You see, when we do real restructuring, it will go beyond just saying this is what we want, this is what we want. It also involve determining whether we want more states or less states. Some states are just not viable. It shouldn't just be about land mass. I do a lot of traveling. You will move from some part of Nigeria. You will be on movement for 3 hours, and you will not see any habitation. And that landmass, empty landmass, is one local government getting allocation from the federal government.
Larry, don't shake that table.
No. We are talking about funding.
Don't shake that table.
If we must fund state police,
on that table, you're shaking.
Mike, if we must fund state police, we will change our approach to a lot of things. In Lagos, we have neighborhood watch. We have Kai. Maybe, of course, we now convert some of them. Now we have constabularies in some places across the country. So we will change a lot of things.
And should I say to you, when I was growing up, the OPC, they were useful. in the area where I lived.
Are you proposing they should become
I'm
police?
not. I'm not.
But
many of them will find their ways.
No,
into,
no.
Many of them will find their ways. Into,
are you suggesting?
no, don't.
Once an honorable is always
put it to use straight.
Put it to use so that we know what the direction is. You know,
it won't be strange anyway. We already have a Motekun.
Yeah, exactly.
And you see some of the attires of Motekun.
We also have Ebubeago now.
No, but they are trying to get there.
And
they're trying to get it right.
Up north there is Hisba police.
All right, we have to. Hisba is in Kano, isn't it? Yeah. But it's all right. It's amazing. The point there is it's taking shape.
It's taking shape. We already know the direction.
We have to leave you here now. Thank you very much, Dario Dufo, for coming on the program.
It's a pleasure.
Honorable Ifeonyegbule, thank you very much.
Thank you.